Presence Learning provides speech therapy, occupational therapy, and behavioral mental health services and assessments for all of those services in school districts nationwide.
I've been a speech pathologist for 30 years and pretty much always just the lone wolf. You never have anyone to work with. But since I've been working with Presence Learning for the last 5 years, I've built lasting relationships with other clinicians that I never had those relationships with people before.
I never feel alone. I feel less isolated working from home than I did working in a setting with short of 20 SLPs.
I got into teletherapy for a lot of reasons. In my previous job, I spent a lot of time commuting, not to the job, but during the job. So I liked the idea of being able to spend more time connecting with and working with students as opposed to driving from school to school and house to house, providing therapy.
I became involved with teletherapy because I live in a rural area and I know how hard it can be to have access to quality care. So what I enjoy about the Presence Learning platform is that it's interactive on both sides and you're able to engage the students and motivate them through activities while at the same time you are able to target what their specific needs are.
So my experience really started when I just had my second child, and my husband is active duty Navy and he was deploying, and I didn't want to go back to the schools full time. I just really needed that balance and that flexibility. So I started with Presence Learning to be able to work part-time and stay in the field. And I also just loved the concept. I loved being able to provide the therapy online and just have that connection with the students in a medium that they so understand and love.
One of the things I really love about the platform is the spontaneity it gives me. A child can bring up anything that they want, and I can provide them the materials that they need at that moment, that it's of interest to them. I don't have to write it down and get it together for them for next week, when next week they've moved on to something else.
The Presence Learning platform is a really wonderful tool. It's basically how I work with my students. It's how I do my documentation. It's how I send in my invoice. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything that I need to do.
Teletherapy is a good match for me because I can continue to do good work and kids can be seen and be treated in a really quality way.
Don't be afraid about the technology piece. It was something that for me was definitely not a strong point when I started, but I was willing to give it a try. If you're willing to learn more about how the technology works, it's actually pretty user-friendly and it helps us to be successful with working with our kids.